drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
In a world where power shakes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first. ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukuma.
Hello there and welcome on board. It is People's Voice on VOP TV, where the story shape the narrative. And of course, today we'll be dissecting a major story that is dominating the and sparking conversation across the nation. Makinde versus Wike, the fight for Pdp'S future. I think we can't get enough of this particular two matured heavyweight. It has gotten to a point where we have to always keep our TV, on standby. Get set to read papers because, well, once this particular side is done, this one would always reply in less than 24 hours. All right, join the conversation with experts and scientists in perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other stories with details. U.S. deploys troops to Nigeria to combat terrorism. The U.S. military has confirmed the deployment of a small team of troops to Nigeria to enhance collaboration between the two countries in combating the growing terrorist threat in West Africa. General Devin R.M. Anderson, head of U.S. military's Africa Command, has disclosed this at a briefing, stating that the team brings a unique capacity and, of course, capability to support Nigerian forces in their fight against terrorism. This is actually long overdue. After the 25 December, strike, we expected them to have, done more. And as regards to the Kaduna situation, if they have been doing more, I don't think these guys would have, even tried to attack anywhere We just add the Kwara State's, situation today, which is quite heartbreaking. But of course, I'll just stay here, and I believe we would bring you, more news and of course information as regards to that particular situation. Away from that particular one, Tinubu assures World Bank of irreversible economic reform. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured the World Bank that Nigeria's economic reform are irreversible, framing them as essential for harnessing the nation's vast potentialities. Tinubu made the assurance during a meeting with the World Bank delegation led by Managing Director of Operation, Anna Berge. At the State House, he emphasized that the reforms, despite initial hardship, are crucial for the country's growth and development. And away from that particular one, let's come to the former CBN governor now. Emefiele complied with Buhari's directive on Naira note production, says a witness. A witness called Chinedu Emere told the Abuja High Court that former Central Bank of Nigeria CBN governor Godwin Emefiele complied with former President Muhammad Buhari's directive to produce the redesigned Naira notes locally. Emery also made an assertion that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission investigator testified that Emefiele submitted a memorandum to Buhari seeking approval to redesign and produce the note, which was approved with a directive for local production. The witness also confirmed that the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company produced the note, but a foreign company, De La Rue, was involved in the redesign. This is actually very serious here because if we're all coming out at this point to talk about how the Naira note was, designed, redesigned, and all of that, why was it even, conceived in the first place? That's the question we should be asking. We are the only nation in the world that has two different 1,000 Naira notes, 500 different 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira notes, and of course 200 Naira notes. Like, how did we get here? So we're now spending old and new. Why? And here we're actually making a case for ourselves. So what should we do? What should the courts do? Go and look for Buhari where he is? No, that's not the case. He has so many cases in front of him. Of course, so many properties, has been seized, and of course, some forfeited already. But we still have to look into that particular situation. I am always very concerned when it comes to the CBN, the EFCC, and of course the INEC, commission, because these are, positions that people were meant to actually guard with their hearts, and to make sure that they have the interests of the people at heart, and not you going into these positions, these offices, for your own personal gain and interest. And this is the reason why we have to take our time to look into this particular one. Whatsoever investigation that needs to be done, it has to be, and the public deserves to know the developing, research, of course, revelations that whatsoever is going on as regards to that particular case. Nothing should actually go beyond doors. And even if he decides to apologize to some people that were hurting as regards to, political sector, we still want, justice to be done. That's all we're saying. That's what we want. Away from that particular one, PDP staff reaffirm loyalty to a Turaki-led National Working Committee. The management and staff of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and of course the People's Democratic Institute have reaffirmed their allegiance to the Taminu Turaki-led National Working Committee. In a joint statement, the 76 staff members described the Turaki-led leadership as a valid, elected, and urged party members to remain resolute despite legal challenges. The staff also called on the National Judicial Council to intervene in what they describe as inconsistent rulings by judges. Okay, so I would like to just leave this particular one for my guest analysts because we have so much to say as regards to this. I'm surprised that this is coming from this same PDP that a particular court sitting in Abuja said there should be no convention. And they actually went to Oyo State. Another court told them, go ahead. So, and today you're actually having issues, with another court, nullifying whatever convention you did. But I would actually rest that particular one until we go into the conversation proper. Lagos Assembly pledges compensation for Makoko demolition victims. The Lagos State House of Assembly has pledged a compensation to residents of the area in Makoko and, of course, adjoining communities affected by recent demolitions. The House of Assembly has also ordered an immediate halt to the exercise, citing concern over the impact on residents. The affected communities have petitioned the Assembly, leading to a meeting between lawmakers and community representatives. The Assembly assured that those whose properties were demolished would be compensated and that any future task force would involve community representatives. This is quite a very serious, situation here, and it breaks my heart whenever I see this particular footage. I have really taken my time to, run away from this particular one, in as much as this is my profession, but it breaks my heart a lot because I keep, reflecting and thinking about how these people are coping. You can look at that particular picture, on the screen where this woman has not had a good sleep. This is to let you know that she has been sleeping in that boat, but she does not have any choice. She needs to make ends meet. She has to shade in the morning. I'm talking about the tomatoes, the pepper she has there in that particular canoe, and she needs to take a nap. We don't know where she would actually paddle this particular canoe to before people can start patronizing her, knowing fully well that everything in that area has been scattered. This is quite a very serious situation here. And I love the fact that the Lagos State House of Assembly has actually, put a halt to the demolition. But before this particular demolition, there was meant to be a proper, a roundtable talks with, the representatives instead of this particular situation. This is quite a very, heartbreaking situation here. But away from this particular one, let's move into the Kogi State quarters now. Kogi shut schools over security concerns. The Kogi State government has actually temporarily closed all primary and secondary schools across the state due to security concerns, citing credible intelligence reports. According to the Commissioner of Information and Communication, Kingsley Femi Fango, the decision was taken to safeguard pupils, students, and of course teachers. The closure is expected to last until February 16, 2026, when schools are scheduled to resume. Right away from that particular one, National Assembly denies delaying Electoral Act amendment. The National Assembly has denied deliberate delaying the consideration and passing of the bill that we've been talking about here. The chairman of House Committee on Electoral Matters, Adebayo Balogun, has said that the delay was procedural rather than political. And he also said that work on the bill was ongoing and that in both chambers, they actually are doing so much to see how to, get everything ready. Balogun expressed optimism that the harmonization stage would soon be completed, saying the bill would be transmitted to the president for assent and in readiness for the 2027 general elections. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOBTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOBTV, and of course on YouTube, for Voice of People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking the conversation here. Makinde versus Wike, the fight for Pdp'S future. Don't go nowhere, please. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program Still People's Voice on Voice of People Television. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has declared that expelled elements described as vagabonds no longer have control over the People's Democratic Party. Makinde made the statement at the commissioning of the Oyo PDP Secretariat, where he also announced that the building would be named after Al-Haji Omokumi Mustafa, the former state chairman who led the party back to power in 2019. In response, Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, through his aide, Larry Olayinka, fired back, calling Makinde a repentant vagabond and questioning his political consistency. The crisis within the PDP depends as both sides exchange blows, of course, with the party's future hanging in the balance. When I'm being joined by Mr. Elvis Elimihele, a journalist, political and public affairs analyst, a member of the Guide of Public Affairs Analysts of Nigeria. You're welcome on board, sir.
Thank you, Savio. Hi, Sabi. Great to be with you.
I needed that serious laughter because no matter what I do, I would always use the statement that whenever you are here on any Wednesday, it is always about PDP. Or PDP will sneak in to the conversation. But of course, today, they are just the only one, on the table today. So, but I would like you to respond to any of the news stories if you want to before we go into.
No, that Makoko story is it's a human angle story and it's very pathetic. You see, I'm an urban regional planner by profession, and I know too well when you are talking of urban renewal.
Urban renewal, yes.
What you are supposed to do. The way the Lagos State government handled that matter, it was too drastic. One would have expected that those people, that's the ancestral home of those people. First of all, you have to look at, their economic mainstay. You have to look at, the type of people that live there. What is whether they are medium income earner, low income earner, or high income earners, Then you now think of, okay, if we want to replan this place and make it habitable, planning does not bring inconvenience to people. What planning is all about is to make people comfortable and be conducive in their place of living. Then you have to, first of all, get a place for these people. It's not a fire brigade thing. For the past, for some years, give them decent place to live, plan that place, provide the necessary infrastructures, like water, electricity, telecommunications, security, and all that, then this may not be a flamboyant apartment. It could be the one we normally call self-contained, room and parlor, for families to live. Convenience, with absolute convenience. Toilet, kitchen, and all that. It could be high-rise, so as to be able to take the number of persons that you want to displace, You would have put up your data, statistic. Okay, we are going to resettle 500 households. You're talking of households, you're talking of husband, wife, and children. Then you will not make provision for them. Then even before you start demolition, you will have relocated them. Because even if you want to make that place to become a highbrow area, the people that will live in that highbrow area still need people that will service them. And the people that will service them don't need to come all the way from probably a Kotun, Yaba, and all that, far distance before they can come and earn a living within the highbrow area. It is those people that you just resettled within that vicinity that will still be like those artisans, the domestic staff, and all that, security and all that. So these high-rise people, these people that you have planned the place for, the big men that you have planned it for. So Lagos State government just rolling in bulldozer, scattering everywhere. People are now scampering for help and where to live, and that's not part of planning. Okay, planning don't bring discomfort.
I love the fact that you started off this point from this particular angle, because I've been really concerned about this situation, and I would use the North as an example. Let me stay in Abuja. When they took the capital from Lagos to Abuja, Abuja had indigents.
Yes.
Different indigents. But of course, the major areas were occupied by the Igbagis. I don't know if you have an idea about the Igbagis.
Yeah.
Now, in every eyebrow area in Abuja, till date, as we're actually having this program, there is always the other side where the locals are allowed to stay. So the only thing that divides them is just the express. So for example, we have Lokogoma here, we have Kabusa here. So local government area, of course, the high road, the estate, and all of that.
Yeah.
Guess what? My help, well, it wasn't a living. Just come in and go, My help was staying in Kabusa. So they were the locals.
Yeah.
From this side, just like what you were saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to start calling them from afar.
No, at all. Yes.
They are always on this other side.
Yeah.
And some of them around the same local government, they actually took them to a poor resettlement. That was how the name resettlement came up.
Yes.
And we have some in Katankwe in different areas. Not like you just come or you just give them 1 month, whatever. You just come and start demolishing things.
No, you don't do that.
It's not done that way.
Planning does not bring inconvenience to people.
You understand?
Planning actually brings convenience because what it is the art and science of redesigning an environment to bring that convenience and comfort for the living.
Because no matter the class of people you want to have there.
Yes.
You understand?
They will need service.
Yes, they will need the service of all these people.
And it is this same low-income earners that will also have jobs within this
place.
High-income earners. You understand?
But for that particular picture we saw, that's really, really heartbreaking.
No,
that's
somebody,
it shows that woman has not gotten enough.
No, he has not have place to sleep. You can see even the canoe is now her home.
Her home, the marketplace, her shop.
Her shop and
you
all
understand?
That. You don't do that. That was what people condemned during the destruction or the demolition of Morocco. Even though some people were settled in Morocco who were legal landlords.
Yeah.
But here, we have not seen anything about that. So Lagos State House of Assembly coming in at this time, they're coming in too belated.
But my question, before we move into the main conversation, is it like the executive just gets to carry out the situation without the legislator sometimes? I don't know. Were they not meant to work hand in hand?
Yeah, because the legislators have failed in their responsibility. They failed in their duties. They sold themselves to the executive.
Because legislators were meant to be contacted. Laws, yes, because every legislator in that House of Assembly, as we speak,
come from a constituent.
They are coming from a constituent.
Yes.
They have a particular area they represent.
Even that
particular Makoko has a particular House of Assembly member, a representative.
Yes.
Either from the state level or from the federal level.
Yes.
So are you telling me that a state governor will just tell the commissioner, oh, we want to use that land, go and do this and do that?
Because over the years, the legislative arm of government, which is supposed to even be the strongest arm, because those are supposed to be the arm of government that are closer to the people, that makes law for the people. That's why they are voted in. Remember, even when we are talking about military administration, executive and judiciary are present in military administration. It's only that legislative arm that we don't have in that military administration. So they are the arm of government that ought to have even been much more respected. But unfortunately, when they get into office, they allow the executive to, spit into their mouth.
Because I'm not seeing any oversight function when it comes to this situation.
There's no oversight function.
I'm not seeing anything
all
here.
All they're after is, their constituency.
In as much as they're trying to cushion the effects of this situation, but for me, I wouldn't want to call it medicine.
It's coming too late.
But it's really, really late.
Yeah, and even as they are talking about halting the demolition, the people that they arrested as a result of protests,
that's another case.
They should drop that charges and let these people, because there's nobody that will be going through this that will not, react. They arrested some comedians and some social media influencers, Why are you charging people, police said, because they are abusing them? They are abusing the police. Can you imagine that?
Okay, Mr. Elvis.
Is that not allowed?
Let's come back home. This is Nigeria, and there are so many abnormalities that we feel it is
singing songs of abuse.
It's okay.
Do you protest and be clapping hands for the person that infringe hardship on you?
But
why do you call it protest?
If you are saying they are singing song of abuse in Abuja, some people sang war song and they were also arrested. So what are you saying? So protest is not allowed in Nigeria. The earlier we know, the better for us. Protest is not actually allowed.
That's where the legislators fail in their responsibility, because they should have been able to interpret the law and tell the people that you have the right to protest and speak it to the executive. Why are they rolling out armed tanks and rolling out police and army to go and start, disrupting protests? Okay,
so Mr. Elvis, let's come back home as regards to. I wouldn't say your people.
No, they are not. We are.
No. It's not like you always make it great for them.
Yeah.
But just that in one way or the other, you don't like the fact that one of the biggest political parties in West Africa.
It must not go down.
I think I'm correct.
Yeah, in West Africa.
PDP happens to be one of the most biggest political parties in West Africa.
Especially when you are talking of leading Nigeria out of the military.
Yes, and it's painful that we are all watching the same party go from here to here, and these men are not even thinking that they are bringing the party down. And the party has gotten to a point where some random person can actually ridicule it. But I would like to start off from the judicial system. Of course, the Federal High Courts are ruling, as regards to the impact on PDP. Let me quickly bring you up to speed again. Not like you're not aware, but don't forget that the same people crying out now, they had a court ruling from Abuja, don't hold any convention.
Yeah.
And they went to discuss, just like Dr. Anosike would always say, they went to Sheyi Makinde's lawyer or his court, his own judge, decided to push for another case, and they said, go ahead with your convention. Now, this is another court from, Oyo State, countering one other court sitting in Abuja. And after the same convention and court ruling, another court saw Anyanwu off. Don't forget,
Yes.
And the Sheyi Makinde were actually happy that, oh, thank God at last, he's actually off this particular one. And the Turaki-led faction were so excited. But less than just, I think 12 days, the window was just between 12 days to 13 days. Okay. And another court, sitting in Abuja, said, whatsoever convention that was done in Oyo State has been nullified. And now the Wike faction are excited. And not only the nullification, but the court also still said that whatsoever national working committee that was constituted from the convention has been dissolved. Let the whole structure go back to the caretaker, which is reinstating the same iron that another court removed. Yeah. So, Mr. Hevis, if I may ask you, the Federal High Court from either Abuja or your state, wherever it wants to be, how has it impacted, PDP? Because this situation looks so confusing. Now we don't even know who is the real PDP anymore.
Well, Savior, it's funny that the judiciary, keep throwing Nigeria into confusion and frustration, especially when we are talking about party affairs in this nation. Even the judgment that came from the Supreme Court concerning, political parties should go and, sort out their matter by themselves. Today, some lawyers will tell you that judgment is ambiguous because the Supreme Court just made that pronouncement and they never, told Nigerians as they arrive at that. But that's not the issue. The issue here is that as PDP is going through this crisis from Abuja down to Oyo, then now back to Abuja, then back to now that the judgment has come, one would even not believe that the iron fashion that the court made pronouncements about some weeks ago that their tenure has actually ended, and as a result, they are no longer legal to be parading themselves as leadership of PDP. This is a tenure that expired in December. Why are you not referring to such tenure now, such person now as, okay, go and take up the leadership of that party if you are not wanting to cause confusion? These people's tenure has elapsed. Then the one that you said, okay, the Ibadan Convention and the leadership that came up from that Ibadan Convention, they are not the rightful persons and that they've been sacked and that they should leave office. You are leaving that place in vague. There is a vacuum. Anyway, when judgment of this nature comes, because there is going to be an appeal, these people will not leave office for now. They are still going to, remain in the office while they appeal it. Because what we are seeing in PDP is just a confusion that to weaken the party more, so that they will not have a footing by 2027 general election. But when I see the problem of PDP, sometimes I weep for them, but sometimes I remove my sympathy for them because most of the things that happen in PDP happen as a result of PDP themselves. The leadership of PDP were not truthful to themselves, and they never knew what they actually needed. After losing that 2015 general election, one would have expected that PDP would have known where their problem lies and be able to think of, okay, even if we don't win the 2019 election, we don't win the 2023 election, let us begin to put our house in order. But because they have not learned from...
Mr. Evans, I would like you to hold your thoughts. We have a caller here.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, this is Aina calling from Lagos.
Aina, happy New Year to you.
Same to you. I've been calling and it's not been reachable.
About that.
Let me start with what I totally concur with what my analyst is saying. The judiciary has turned Nigeria upside down. I don't believe a party will take a matter to court for a court to make a pronouncement to clear an issue. Rather, they will leave the court even more confused than they enter the court. Then tell me what did you use if the judiciary have not lost its taste? And I tell you, till we handle the issue of judiciary, Nigeria still have a long way to go. I'm telling you. So this is a matter I pity for PDP, because with the way the judiciary has played PDP down, PDP is far gone. It's dead and rested. So I don't know what else to say, but PDP is dead and rested. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your call. I wouldn't want you people to always say that PDP is, dead and gone and all of that. He said is in support of your submission as regards to the judiciary, destroying, so many things, when it comes to their judgment, and party allowing the judiciary to take over. But usually, when it comes to a situation like this, it's only the judiciary that can actually, solve litigations conversation, or any matter, to be precise. Otherwise, it will always become a serious, political issues that it might even get messier than that. Don't forget that if the judiciary didn't come in on time, these matured men actually, deemed it fit, and they didn't care their status. They went to Abuja to disgrace themselves. And that was the reason why the Nigerian police force had to shut that particular secretariat down. Because sometimes we get to feel, I understand that the judiciary is, we are still asking them, or we still want them to do better. In as much as their NBA presidents, spoke yesterday as regards to what some of their colleagues are doing that is not really okay, and he told them to, take up this job with all seriousness and consider the people. He said so much, as regards to, boosting their morale up. Let me just use that word. But when it comes to situations like this, sometimes it might even lead to anarchy. Because if you are saying the Nigerian police force to stay off, the judicial system to stay off, and let the politicians do their thing, that's where thuggery will enter. That's where the normal confrontation and fights would enter. At the end of the day, it will become a street mayor. You saw what these matured men did to themselves. I didn't even know that some governors actually learned Kung Fu. No, I was surprised. No, Mr. Davis, you saw the video. I didn't know until they started kicking themselves, throwing off legs. I was like, really? So this governor also has this talent. So I'm not totally in support of the situation of us saying that we're taking matters off from judiciary. But we want our judicial system of government to be transparent enough and actually do what they are called to do for the people. That's all we're really concerned about.
You have just answered it. If they cannot be transparent enough to solve Nigeria's problem, they should not add to Nigerians' problems. That's where the issue is. Because what we have seen, some of these judgments we've seen, look at the judgment of the Labour Party, look at the one that is coming for PDP. Which of them have they actually been sincere to Nigerians? Which of them have they actually been there to say, okay, let us actually solve this problem once and for all? Give judgment that Nigerians will not go and be interpreting and be confusing themselves.
But I think for that of Labour Party, it is settled now, right?
No, I mean, no, it's settled now. But not before now. I mean, even when you say Abure is appealing,
he said he will appeal.
Yes, he's going to appeal. Yeah. So that one is by the wayside. Let's wait for what the appeal will say. But the judgment that they gave that came back and forth that Abure was off and on at the time, and then even still have to recognize Abure and all those ones.
But now he has been taken off from the portal finally.
Well, let us believe that as INEC have done that, then the judiciary appeal will not bring him back. So that's let us it's remaining. So it's a situation where they have not categorically defined their leaning in this democracy, Savior, is very pathetic. Because when we are confused in democracy, we say let's go to court. Let court make their pronouncement. But sometimes now, sometimes now when we go to court, the court compound our confusion.
No, it now looks as if it is even the court that was meant to come to us.
Yeah, you will not come back and be angry at ourselves. And leading to the confusion you just made mention of, when there are no categorical judgment that gives solution to problems, it leads to anarchy. And those are some of the things that the judiciary has been trying to foil, in Nigeria for some time now. You see, the PDP matter has become an issue that it is like a deliberate design that PDP must not work. It must not work.
Okay, sir, when you use the word a deliberate design that PDP must not work, do you think that Makinde has also contributed to this crisis?
Makinde is not a member of the judiciary. Makinde went to court when they were talking about that convention.
Okay.
And said, okay, court, also let us also hear from you. What is your pronouncement on this matter?
Why should Makinde go to another court in Oyo State?
But some other politicians have been doing it.
When it was a court in Abuja that actually said that convention should not hold.
That is where I am saying that judiciary has failed in their responsibility. Why will judiciary allow two of their courts to now being used as scapegoats to push a different narrative for the same...
we should also hold ourselves accountable because we are also the one going to them.
The judiciary should be able to tell the system, sanitize the system and say, this is not applicable in this system. This arm of government, you cannot come and destabilize it. That's the only arm of government that is a professional arm of government. Do you know that?
Yeah. Because
everybody in the judiciary are either lawyer or judges. Judicial arm.
Yeah.
These are people that are trained to do their job, excellently, without looking at both sides. You see the scale of equity. It's not nobody. It's not given in such a way that I have to be on this side, lean to this side, or whatever. In the legislative arm, everybody can be a legislator. You see lawyers there. You see medical doctors.
They're all elected.
Different, multiple profession.
Yeah.
They are elected to be there. But this is executive, the same thing. But why are they not putting all that toga of integrity? That they also believe that they are the last hope of the common man. Recently, some of their judgment has not reflected it. So when you are saying politicians are meant to spin narratives, provided they're looking for a way to favor them. So if the politician want to use them to demean their office, they should be able to help. You can't do this. You can't do this. If there is a judgment in Abuja and Oyo State Court again is picking up another judgment, the judiciary will still have NJC. The National Judicial Commission should be able to know the judges that are responsible for this kind of narrative should be sanctioned immediately so that it will serve as deterrent to others who may be not seeing it. That's why we are now seeing this compounded and confused set of judgments that are coming up, and which is not helping. Because if they allow politicians to take away the toga of integrity that is bestowed on them, judiciary will be rubbished, just like every other arm of government is already rubbished. Nobody gives integrity to executive and legislators any longer in this nation because we know what they are made of. When it is, as they switch them, they will continue to allow it to be switching them. There is any English like that. Because, Savior, when they are sharing SUV in the legislative chambers, do you hear them quarrel?
It is not even.
Switch them.
It is not even about the SUV that I'm even more concerned. I'm more concerned about the prayers that they send to their emails.
Okay. When they send it prayer, okay, this Christmas now, prayers were sent to emails.
Prayers were sent.
We didn't hear because when it was mistakenly made, when it was mistakenly pronounced last time, the Oga was warned. We don't do that. So they operate like a kind of secret court. And remember that these are people that we elected to go and represent us and make laws for us. So as they benefit from it at your own and my own detriment, we don't hear them quarrel. But we only hear them quarrel when they feel that this narrative is not going to be beneficial to them. And this quarrel, they'll tell you, oh, we are shutting down, we are going on recess, we are setting up a committee to look into it. By the time they come back, they don't go back to it. They have settled themselves. They just came back from recess. Emails were sent to their respective mailboxes.
Mr. Elvis, I need to ask you that question. What kind of email do they send that has to do with prayers? What kind of prayers, I would like to know.
They are praying for the unity of this nation, and they are praying that insecurity should go up.
But the prayers seems like the prayer is connected with bank accounts.
No, that's the major prayer.
I'd like to send me such prayers,
Yeah, we need it. We need it because we have no. We that the watchdog, we that the brand, the fourth realm of the estate, the media, but we don't benefit from the prayer.
Sincerely, but Mr. Elvis, I would like you to talk about the main crisis now in PDP. And it's so painful that, just like I said, while I was opening this conversation, PDP happens to be arguably one of the biggest Yeah,
You know,
in
West
Africa.
In Africa, not
In
even West Africa.
Because
you know.
the only party you can liken to PDP before now was supposed to be ANC. But if you look at PDP is operating in a population of over 250 million people.
You understand?
You understand that you cannot compare it to South Africa.
So PDP, as big as PDP, and the crisis has actually gotten to this point. Do you think that PDP can still even, you know, pick up again, you know, in 2027 or before 2027?
No.
Or 2027 is gone?
No, 2027 is practically
Okay, so
gone.
what would happen to this party?
No, the party may stay, but not this 2027 matter, because the hands that is, you know, pushing PDP down want to push them down beyond 2027 general election. Because even if the court made pronouncement now, say, okay, the Madakis fashion take over the secretariat and all that, you know Nigeria court, before that pronouncement comes, we'll be talking of March, April, and when is primaries? Primaries have already come. And the only thing that kind of pronouncement we do, and you know these people as worthy as they are and as disastrous as they are, they will still go to Supreme Court. So nobody, no candidate, I mean aspirant, will be wanting to pick up a political party's form that you are not sure of who is going to sign your form, and you now go and spend all the millions to do your campaign, and at the end of the day, probably your people may like you, because 2027 general election is going to be more of individuals, you know, the integrity of individuals more than parties. Parties have disappointed Nigeria so much over the years. When we were clamoring for when the Nigerians were clamoring for APC in 2014, 2015, nobody knew that APC was coming to be the worst. So in this same 2027 that is coming now, for instance, you have your people's support and say, okay, go, and you are going under the PDP. And at the end of the day, one other faction signs your form. Then court now make pronouncement and say that faction that signs your form is illegal. All the millions you have spent in the campaign, and even the choice your people, the candidate vote your people gave to you, being their choice, would have been eroded. So PDP might not have it good in 2027 general election, because these court cases that we have seen is going to go too far into the elections before they may have whether it's going to favor them or not. But you know, when 2027 election comes and go, the party, the activities in the party would have come down a little bit. A new government would have been coming on stream. So let them just begin to work towards 2031. But that is the carcass of PDP that will be left. Because I see many of them
still defecting,
joining other parties, especially now that they have already started pinching tent with ADC. Many of them are already pitching tent with ADC. So many are still going to go to some other parties.
Okay, so when you say when you talk about a pitching tent with ADC, of course, some people had already, you know, given the predictions that PDP might even become a merger with the ADC and, of course, the Labour Party, just to see this election through. But when it comes to Wike and Makinde's situation, I'm just really worried. Is it like there is nothing that can be done for these particular two factions to be settled and PDP coming together? And not only that, do you even think that PDP can still come back together as regards to really shedding their swords as regards to every weight and, you know, restoring peace in that party? And what can INEC do, you know, as regards to playing their role in settling this crisis, if at all there is any way forward? Well,
INEC cannot do it. Let me just start with that. INEC cannot do anything if there's any matter in court. INEC will only wait for court to give their judgment before they will now know where to follow. You know, sometimes they will even tell you, because the case is in the court, that's why their hands are clipped. You know, recognizing who is the chairman of a particular faction or whatever. Yeah. So that of INEC is waiting for court. You know, sometimes you see they go to their website to go and start changing names from time to time as regard the judgment from court. Yeah. So INEC is weak on that. Wike and Makinde matter. You know, it's just like matter of two friends who have now become enemies, kind of. Makinde was among those G5 that Wike used in scattering PDP in 2015 election. I mean, in 2023 election. Wike and Makinde they were members of the G5. They all flocked around Wike to scatter PDP. Now, Makinde has now come to discover now that, oh, we can't remain like this. Unfortunately, the same Wike, after scattering the PDP election in 2023 general election, he still went further and became minister. And look at all his press charts, media charts. Yeah. There's no time. He doesn't have anything to say about PDP, which means he continues
in the destruction that PDP must not come up. You know, so you look at the thank you visit hurriedly put together in December, you know, moving around all the local government. What was he talking about? That he has a rebel coalition. He brought the PDP chairman of Rivers State, belonging to his own faction, and the APC chairman, who also belongs to his faction, you know. There are two APC chairmen in Rivers. You have the Okocha, Tony Okocha, and you have the Emeka Beke, which the court recognized. You know, Emeka Beke is the one, but Abuja is sponsoring Tony Okocha. Then we also have the PDP faction, who is loyal to Wike, since he declared himself as the leader of PDP and said PDP, he has a faction even after his expulsion. So when you see this kind of thing, you see that crisis is going to take a long time, because even Makinde himself has his own intention for PDP. And you see, when Wike was talking yesterday, he said he's interested in
Oyo State.
Why will you be talking about being interested in another person's state?
No,
remember when he said this?
PDP Oyo State. So
yeah, he said he's interested. But as far as Oyo State is concerned, Makinde is a PDP governor. So he's the leader of PDP in Oyo State, not another
what
person.
Wike is trying to say is that Makinde is not recognized in PDP.
The people of Oyo State are the one that will say that, not him. So the Oyo people should rally around their governor and tell Wike he should not insult the sensibility of their governor. That's the sitting governor. You know, he said this one to Bala Mohammed sometime and said if he interferes in Rivers matter, he will cause trouble for him in his state. Remember, he said it when Fubara.
But you know, whenever.
So who is Wike that is warning other sitting executive governors?
For Wike to say things like this to anybody, it shows that he has so much influence in that. That not only that, he actually saw those people through to that office. But in closing, we're actually pressed for time and we have to just round up in just 30 seconds. Is Wike winning on every side? Don't forget that the president, after Bwala actually made that statement, everybody thought, oh, this was the president's statement. But here, the president told Fubara that Wike is the leader of the political structure, just like I've been telling you that Wike actually holds the political structure of Rivers State. And now the president has made it clear that either PDP or APC, Wike is the political structure leader of that particular state. And even asking them to recognize Wike's candidates for the by-election. What does that tell you?
It is not an issue. It is the Rivers people that own the structure, not Wike, not even President Tinubu. If APC decides to trade Fubara for Wike, that is insulting the Rivers people. When if the Rivers people say he has done well for us, and this is the candidate we want for 2027 general election, the structure they are talking about belongs to the Rivers people. Fubara can as well jettison that party and pick up the ticket of another party. If the Rivers people are with him, they will get it back. Well, it's not all about Wike.
Well, you
we
actually
are going to see more unfolding drama. Okay. But we're also going to look at the progressive governor, if they are going to support Tinubu to override Wike, to override Fubara's responsibility and headship of that political party, leadership of that political party in Rivers. Okay. If they allow it, which means they are also failing their responsibility. I'm talking about the progressive governors who are leaders in their respective states and now are aligning with the president to now, denigrate one of them because there is a bull in the China shop in Abuja who is now living larger than even both political parties.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harris, for that particular one. But don't forget that the same way you said that Fubara, if the people are supporting Fubara, if they are behind him, he can easily pick any other ticket. Don't forget that Wike also went home over the weekend and we saw the massive crowd. It shows that Wike also has
It is not the crowd, Savior.
Okay.
It is let electoral system be credible and free and fair.
If we're talking about credibility and free and fair election, of course, Fubara was selected and not elected. That's another conversation.
Yes, that is where we are coming from.
That's why his godfather can be saying all of this.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining the program today again, sir. Hopefully, I would actually see you next week Wednesday. This is how far we can actually go on the program. Yes, if you love the world of sport, I'd like you to stay put. Coming up next is a locker room. Don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will do last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Xavier Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa